Hey girl, hey, and welcome to the Self Love Fix podcast, where we get relatable, we share tea, and we support each other on this journey of self love, self worth, personal development, self esteem, and self care. Because why wait until it's too late to start becoming the best version of ourselves? Let's start today. And I'm your host, Beatrice. So let's get into it. Hey girl, hey, and welcome back to the Self Love Fix podcast. I am your host, Beatrice, and happy Thursday. I hope that you had a very good Thanksgiving last week, and I hope that you were able to practice some of the boundaries I talked about in last week's episode, because we all know we have those family members who sometimes try to push our boundaries and they won't let up. And for those of you who didn't spend time with family or didn't have family to spend time with that, you were comfortable spending time with, or just didn't have the ability to spend time with them, I hope that you feel all the love surrounding you from the people that are in your life now, and also from me on this end. Like I always say, when things are bad or when things go bad, the only way that you can go is up. Like it's only going to get better. Things only ever do get better. And I hope that next year your holiday is much better. And it will be. So this week, I really wanted to talk about receiving. I think that, this is a season of giving where we have Thanksgiving and then we have all the December holidays, depending on what you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah. We have all the December holidays and they're really all focused on, giving, but there's another element to it, which is receiving. I think a lot of times it's easy for us, especially if you are codependent or have codependent tendencies, it's really easy for you to give but not to receive. And this week I really want to talk about receiving, because I think it's just as important as giving. If you grew up in a house where people made you feel like you were selfish for, wanting things or for how you acted when you did get things, I'm here to tell you that it's okay to receive. It's okay to open your arms and be like, you know what? I deserve this, or you know what? This is something that is for me, and I am going to enjoy this, whatever it is. A lot of us can be really uncomfortable with receiving in so many aspects. I know one area a lot of us can be uncomfortable with receiving in is compliments, right? So when it comes to people saying, oh, you're really pretty, or oh, you're really beautiful, or you look good, or I like that, I like your hair, whatever it is, a lot of us have trouble accepting and receiving that without, and I think I've talked about this before in another podcast, without kind of adding some kind of modifier like, oh, I only look this good because X, Y, and Z, or oh, I don't normally look like this. I spent more time on myself than normal, or whatever. Like, the thing of it is, if somebody's complimenting you, that's kind of like, in a way, a gift that they're giving to you, right? They're giving you a compliment, right? It is a gift. So it's okay to receive that. It's okay to say thank you without having to add the, oh, my hair only looks like this when X, Y, and Z happens. It's okay to just recognize that, yes, you do indeed look good, or yes, your hair is pretty, or whatever it is. It's okay to receive that and to sit with it. A lot of us can also be uncomfortable with sitting in reception, like sitting in receiving something, because maybe we're not used to it. I don't know, maybe if you can recall in your own life, think about it. Have you ever been comfortable with receiving things, or do you associate receiving, even just compliments, since we're on that topic right now, do you associate receiving compliments with some sort of negativity? Because sometimes if we associate receiving a compliment with something negative, then it's almost like we're conditioned to automatically provide some kind of excuse or provide some kind of caveat to someone saying, hey, I really like blankety blank about you. I'll give an example for myself. I think growing up, for me, I associated someone complimenting me kind of with abandonment. I know it's kind of strange, but I would associate it with abandonment. Of course, unconsciously. I just noticed this as an adult, but I think whenever I would get when I was growing up, I think there were some members of my family who would oscillate between, being really, really nice and complimenting me to like nothing and kind of rejection, or just not neglect, but like abandonment, just not being present. And so I was so used to like this oscillation. I never knew what I would get from them. I never knew if it would be like the happy person who would like say nice things to me or about me, or just a person who was kind of cold and not saying anything at all. So it was kind of like, for me, it was weird. I just didn't really take to compliments very well, because I kind of would think, oh, this person's complimenting me now, but later they're gonna just, I don't know, abandon me. I mean, seriously, that's probably what was going on in my subconscious mind as a child, or they're just going to take that away or act mean towards me later or be mean towards me later, kind of a thing. So that was what I associated with, along with the fact that my self-esteem was just low. I think there was multiple factors, and I think for you maybe there might be multiple factors if this relates to you. I think probably the bigger aspect of it is just like a lower sense of self-esteem, but that's why I'm here to say it's okay. Like, if somebody is complimenting you, they're not lying, they're not, I mean, nothing is by force. If somebody doesn't want to give you a compliment, they won't. So accept it. It's okay. It's okay to receive, and it's okay to accept what they have to say. Unless, of course, you don't like what they have to say. That would be the exception, right? Okay, so another way we may struggle to receive is when it comes to money, whether that's people giving us gifts in the form of money, or people compensating us for our talents, whether, we're artists or we have our own businesses or whatever's going on, or even when it comes to determining your salary or getting a raise at work. Some of us are afraid to receive in that form, and that might also be related to beliefs around money. So if you didn't grow up with a lot of money, you might feel like that's just not your portion, that's not something you deserve. So maybe you're making a lot of money, or you're being offered a position where you could make a lot of money, and you just don't feel like you deserve it. Or, like I said, with the other things, getting a gift in the form of money or being compensated. Maybe you're selling something like art, or maybe you're a makeup artist and you're just telling people like, oh no, it's okay, I can do your makeup for free. Or, oh, no, it's okay. Maybe you're underselling your art, for example, if you sell art. Maybe it's because you just don't feel that you deserve that you don't deserve to receive that compensation. So again, a lot of it could have to do with self-limiting beliefs about money that were probably formed when you were young, depending on how you were raised, depending on how your parents or caregivers spoke about money in the home. Was money something that your caregivers or parents made seem like was hard to attain? Like, I know in my household, money, they didn't really talk about money with me, but I know that it was always this idea that you have to work really hard to get, a little bit of it, right? And I believe in working hard. Hey, how else are you gonna, get money? But I just mean, it's this idea that you are always chasing something. Like, this idea that you always have to be kind of on your toes. That's the better way to say it, that you always have to be on your toes about money. And it's not something that is freely available in terms of, and I know this sounds super elusive. When I say freely available, I mean, it's not like I got this message like money is out there, and you can get it and you can have it. It was more this message of kind of, I don't know, like, there's hoops and hurdles you have to jump through. There you go. There's hoops and hurdles you have to jump through to get a little small piece of the pie. And I just don't think that's really a good way to look at money, because it kind of gives you this poverty mindset, like this idea that, like, I'm always going to struggle. I always have to, like, be in fear that, it's going to be gone, or that I always have to fear my next step, my next move, Or maybe you were raised in a home where people spoke really badly about people that had money, oh, those rich folks, and oh, they don't do anything to help other people, that kind of dialogue. Then maybe you kind of formed this idea in your mind that, like, having money is bad, that having a lot of money is bad, or that if you spend money on yourself, say you like to go get your nails done, or you like to buy, maybe higher end makeup, I don't know. Everybody has different ways that they like to spend money, but say that, you were looked at as being selfish if you liked to enjoy spending your money. So there could be all these beliefs that are forming, and then it makes you feel kind of like your hands are tied, like when it comes to money, that you just don't want to receive more of it because you feel selfish or you feel badly if you have it. So if that's you, if you can relate to this, I just want to let you know, like, it's okay to receive. It's not bad to live abundantly. It's not bad to enjoy life or enjoy things that are given to you. Receiving is how we provide balance to this idea of giving. I think that both are beautiful things in this life. It's beautiful to give, and it's also beautiful to receive. But I think we mostly get the message that it's beautiful to give and that receiving is bad. But receiving is not bad. I think receiving even also encourages you in your own self-love and self-worth journey, because it lets you know, hey, I am deserving of this, or hey, this is something that's for me, and I feel affirmed, seen, or even heard by this, whatever form of a gift it is that you're receiving, kind of a thing. Okay, and lastly, I wanted to talk about receiving in the form of love, whether it's platonic, like your friends or your family, or it's romantic, like as in a lover or a partner, right? So, this is an area where I think more than anything, the platonic relationships, like the friends and some of the family members, hopefully the non toxic family members that we're talking about here, receiving love is sometimes, or something a lot of us sometimes don't allow ourselves to do. And I know I used to do this a lot. So maybe you have family members that want to encourage you, or friends that want to encourage you or help you when you've got a lot on your plate, and say maybe when it comes to them encouraging you, it's hard for you to receive those words, especially if you didn't come from a home where there was a lot of affection and tender conversation. So maybe that's a new experience for you, or it's something that you kind of makes you kind of even feel squeamish. It's okay to receive that too. It's okay to receive that love and care from friends and family. And then also, like what I was saying with them helping you when you have a lot, I think a lot of times we have the tendency to, when we have a lot of things going on, just kind of be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. And we don't even consider like leaning on someone else who's offering us help. And we feel like, no, I can't have them do that. I can't have them do all that. That's too much. That would be selfish of me. But it's not selfish. If someone wants to help you, let them. Allow yourself to receive that help, or receive that, extra hand. Allow yourself to receive it, because then you're also showing yourself love, because you're just like, okay, now I have a little bit more time to rest because someone's helping me with this, or now I have a little bit more time to dedicate myself to this task or this thing that needs to get done because someone is here to help me. So, I know me, I used to be a busybody. I wouldn't let anybody help me with anything. I think maybe back in my college days when I had so much going on, I remember, I remember one time I had the flu. Yes, the flu. It was a bad flu. And I was over here trying to go to class with the flu. I was trying to cook dinner. I wouldn't even, I could have ordered, I guess they didn't have that DoorDash thing back then, but I could have asked a family member or a friend to, a nearby friend to please, get me some soup or something. And I was like, no, I'm going to stand up in this kitchen and cook because I don't want to be a burden to anyone. Don't be like who I used to be. Allow yourself to receive that help and that helping hand, because we can't always do all the things, and that's part of being human, is that we need each other. We need to be in communion with other people, and we need help from other people. That's what it means to be human. So allow yourself to receive that. Now, when it comes to romance, right, a lot of times, I know a lot of you have experienced, and myself included, just bad relationships, or just maybe even abuse in relationships that went south, and or just toxic relationships. But there are also others of you who have experienced the complete opposite, and maybe it's hard for you to receive that love from your partner, or even just people who are thinking about, the next relationship they want to get involved with, and thinking about like, what do I want out of it? Sometimes it can be hard to visualize and picture yourself receiving the love that you deserve. Like, maybe if you try and sit and think about it, maybe it's difficult for you to picture someone, loving you without the toxicity, loving you without the abuse, or without the wishy-washiness and things like that. But I will say this: if you see it, and if you recognize it and it's coming your way, receive it. Receive it. Even if it's kind of like, and you know what, it might be hard. It might be hard or unfamiliar if someone is just being genuinely a good person to you, genuinely a good partner to you. It might just be like, so when are you going to snap? So when are you going to switch on me? But I challenge you to just live in the moment and receive as it's being given to you, the love and the care. Sometimes when you've experienced over and over, messy relationships or bad relationships, or guys who just didn't care enough, it can be so easy to kind of get desensitized to it and expect, and I shouldn't say expect, but it could be easy to get desensitized to it and just kind of think that every relationship going forward is going to be very lackluster, and you're not going to get much out of them, and you're just going to have to figure out how to deal with it and be complacent with it. And so, you may find yourself just having a passive role and just, taking it as it is. But when you do find that person who just loves you unconditionally and treats you with care and respect and kindness, You may feel overwhelmed. You may feel like you kind of want to even challenge them and test them to see when are they going to snap or when are they going to leave. But I really do. I really challenge you to, instead of trying to jump to conclusions about what things will look like in the future, like I was saying earlier, just stay present and accept and receive. As long as they're treating you right and treating you well, stay present and receive just in that moment. So thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I hope I helped make things clearer for you about why it's important to receive in this giving season. And I hope this helped encourage you to soften your guard or let your guard down when it comes to receiving, and to realize that you deserve to receive, that it's okay to receive despite what anybody's ever told you. It is more than good for you to receive. You absolutely deserve it. And I will catch you next week. Same place, same time, same place. Thank you for tuning in.